Hi everyone. Sorry, so Richard couldn't fly to meet you guys, so he's instead. The official reason being he's traveling and couldn't make it. The unofficial might be that it's hard to show consumer product in front of specialists of 360 professional video. So we're going to talk about how to approach consumer review with 360 devices. So it's all about videos, and we know that videos and photos today are huge, especially videos. If we are talking about consumers, the two main platforms today, YouTube, Facebook, about 3 hours of video uploaded on YouTube every minute, and now about 4 billion video played on Facebook. So that's huge, and that's part of everyday's life of anyone. So we've seen a bunch of things happening over the course of the last years. Screen getting bigger and bigger, even in your pocket. Those weird cars going around the cities, some cameras looking like a virus with a lot of objective lenses, and some HMDs, so guys actually looking at something you cannot see unless you're in front of the computers. It's actually not new, so it's been out for a long time. Actually, the first panoramic picture came shortly after the first picture itself. Same thing for virtual reality. Back in 1968, you've seen the first prototype of HMDs. It was, by the time, too heavy to be worn directly on the head, so that's why you see the structure over it. So today we have lighter HMDs, but there is still probably some progress to make here too. So the whole question was, and that's a question anybody here is trying to solve, how to get out of this frame that we've been locked into for the past years. So how do you get from this closed frame, sometimes not framed correctly for consumers, to a full spherical view when you have everything? So we've been, the good news today is that you can play those contents on basically anything, from computers, mobile tablets, and of course HMDs, even on TVs if you're using, for instance, a Kinect and your hands to move your videos around. So displays are ready, but then how do you make 360 happen for consumers? So we've been working on this for 7 years now, and so that's actually the museum. So we started with the first one, which is halfway between the mixer and some adult toy. Just only panoramic, so one lens catching everything around you. But then you're still missing a lot of things happening around, so especially above and below. So we moved to multiple lenses, working with color. So multiple lenses catching regular frames, then stitch inside, stitch after with the color solution. It's actually not new, that's basically the two solutions everyone is going after. There is a simple reason behind it. The first one, the one lens design, maybe a fisheye or a panoramic lens, is very easy. Just work like any regular camera, you have one sensor, and it's plainly simple to use. The only problem with that is that you miss still a lot of information above and below. The multiple lenses approach, or multiple cameras approach, is very interesting because you get to catch everything around. It covers up to full sphere, and you can get some other applications that you've just seen. But then it's a huge waste of data. So you're actually recording a lot of the data that you don't use after. You need a lot of computing power, plus some delay. Depends on the size of the computers you have on site. So essentially it's time or power consuming. And of course it's also time and resources consuming. If you think about multiple lenses or multiple camera systems, then that means you have as many battery as cameras, as many DSP as cameras, a lot of stuff that actually could be get rid of. So we try to solve this problem by starting with how to capture the full environment. So the first thing the photons go through is the lenses. The thing with the lens is that it's impossible today to make a full spherical lens. So that could be achieved. The second thing you have is a sensor. That's exactly what we've been after. So we developed and patented a technology that will allow us to use directly the sensors, any type of sensor, directly and merge them together to create one full spherical view. So the benefits of this, it's fast and simple. You have as many lenses and sensors that you need, but just one virtual sensor. So the camera only believes there is one sensor above. There is only one file out, maybe a JPEG, MP4, whatever, video file, streaming. It's untouched. The image processing pipe is untouched. So that means it just goes through the regular process in the camera, but also outside of the camera. So you can use any editing software, any sharing platforms, anything. It's cost efficient because it's only one device, of course, so you don't duplicate hardware, and there is no computing involved. Everything is instantly ready. It's also scalable. It can be used with any type of sensors, any size of sensors, any specific capabilities, and any usage. So we had to prove this was working. And so we went after something a lot of people are sometimes angry after us, which is a consumer product. The best way we had to show people we can now shoot in 360 was allowing people to actually do it themselves. So this little cam had 3 optics, and a lot of you already know it. And those 3 images, if I can say so, the 3 field of view are actually merged inside the device in real time. When I say real time, it's only 1 frame latency. So when you're shooting at 3 FPS, it means that everything is stitched in 1/30th of a second, so 0.03 seconds. So that's quite fast. What you get out of this is also 2K panoramic video or 4K panoramic picture. So we also had to work on the sensors. So we have three sensors, 3 CMOS sensors. We have rolling shutters, but then we synced them together. So what you see on this video, apart from the team working very hard to make it happen, is those propellers on the ceiling. And the biggest one is actually right in the middle of 2 lenses. And you can see that they are perfectly synchronized. So it doesn't affect the video. So for the camera capabilities, so it has videos and live. You can also live stream over RTSP directly from the device. You don't need anything in between. This is the camera for those who haven't seen yet. And it can record regular MP4 files. So what you see on the left side is actually a test we did by sticking the first development kit directly under a drone. And on the side, you see a time lapse. So you have all the photo mode. You can take regular pictures, but also time lapse and burst. What you get doing a picture would be like the 4K file, JPEG, and you can also have HDR directly in the device. That can be up to 3 different exposures merged together, or outside the device if you want to have full control of it. And then you can go up to 5 or more different exposures, and then tweak them yourself. So we decided actually to build the camera into different parts, and that's important because we wanted to empower people with possibilities about this camera. So in the head of the camera, you find everything related to the technology. So you have the 3 sensors, the 3 microphones, Wi-Fi, GPS, accelerometer and gyroscope for image stabilization, a micro SD slot, so you can use any micro SD, and a red screen so you can see what you're doing. And we also have the bonus, which is the mustache. Instead of having a boring loading time, you just put a nice mustache moving when you're switching mode. And then you can actually use the camera and adapt it to whatever you want. So the regular base, you have a rechargeable battery and removable battery, and a tripod mount at the back. We also made some small cups. So the design changed a bit since this one, but the point is the camera is waterproof, so you can bring it into the water. But what will happen, as you know, is you have a diffraction problem, so you won't be able to stitch in 360 anymore. So we developed the small cups, so you can actually correct that and stitch even in 360, even underwater. And that's again part of the team. Second one was how do you use your camera once you're back home? So that's nice for holidays, but then what do you do when you go back? So we developed the light bulb accessory. So you replace the back of the camera by the light bulb screw. You can put it upside down into any light socket. It will get the camera powered, and then you can stream directly the footage over Wi-Fi. So that works for use the camera as a nanny cam, video surveillance, but also just record the party at home in your living room if you want, without worrying about the battery life.
Do you provide an interface for that, or to watch online, or how is it streaming?
Yes, so I'll come to that after, so I can explain how it works on the service. The last one we made is sometimes you have an environment when you don't want to rely on the Wi-Fi. So we developed a PoE base. So same again, you switch the back of the camera, replace by the PoE back, and then you can plug directly an RG45 cable in the back of the camera. It will get the camera powered again, and then you can get the feed directly out of the camera without using the Wi-Fi. You also have an audio input on the side. For instance, if you're in that use case broadcasting a concert on stage, then you can get the audio out too. So consumer is also about the ecosystem. So it's nice to make a camera that can catch everything, that is that simple to use, but then what do you do when you want to exploit that footage? So all those files are very standard, just regular MP4 and regular JPEG. So that's just something I did this morning with one of our prototypes. So I shoot a time-lapse. So what you get out of the camera is just a file, and then you can see this kid on the side that tried to grab the camera at the end. So that's why I stopped the time-lapse. Now you can take those files. I'm using Premiere just like anyone would do, or you can use with, well, any software. I'm just making a new project, new. I'm doing the most lazy thing possible. So I'm just not even picking the name for the project. So untitled. And the point is, all you have to do in any regular software would be to import those images as a sequence, for instance. There you go. It's processing. You have to just drag them in your timeline. You can also, so it's going to be picking the format for me. Thank you. And the thing is, just like any regular video, you can just add any kind of effect. So if I want to be lazy, there is the automatic contrast, for instance, but you can use any type of effect. Just put it over it. There you go. Now you just click export the media. So the only thing you have to pay attention to is to export, of course, at the right format. So 4K in that case for the time lapse. So it's exporting. I'm just going quicker because and there you go. So now your file is generated, and there you have it. So you have a time lapse ready in like less than a minute. So any consumer can actually do the same thing and just upload directly the videos online. And I will come to that, because it's also about what do you do with your content, what do you share them. So let's say you just made a video. You know that YouTube opened now the full spherical 360 video support. So you can just go to your account and play video back in 360 directly from the device. And as the Google team has been announcing today, the camera is also compatible with all the Street View applications. We're using also the Open Spherical application, API, sorry. So you can actually use directly the app and control the camera and show you footage directly online. So what about pros? That's a question we got often. So of course this one is a consumer camera. And the funny thing is, though it was made for consumers, we've seen a lot of different applications even in the professional field. First one is scouting. A lot of you have very expensive rigs or use very expensive materials. But then with this kind of camera, you can actually go anywhere, just take a few shots, try a few videos, and see exactly what you will get out. Second application, that's the thing we see a lot now, is a third screen application. So for instance, you have a lot of TV channels that want to augment their experience of the footage they have made for TVs in a regular format. So they can actually use those type of cameras to do some quick footage on the side to give people to watch. So they can actually go online on their mobile phone, while they're watching a show, to see something happening. In that case, you are just visiting a car while the guy from the show is actually explaining what it is on a TV show. The last one was actually kind of a surprise. We've been contacted by Moveo, which is a foundation that applies new technology to surgery. So what they wanted to do is use the camera because it's light enough to put on the head of the surgeon to record the full surgery for about 2 hours. And what that will allow them is actually to have the young interns put virtual reality headset, like this guy, so they can actually relieve the operation directly from the point of view of the surgeon. So the only thing they can't see is actually the face of the surgeon. Otherwise, everything is on the side, the assistant on the side, the monitors on the left, and of course the full surgery performing right below. So a lot of applications, and if not, maybe someday it will also happen to make your camera lighter. So a bit more about this product. So we're kind of late on the schedule, as some of you might know, but it's getting ready. When I'm finalizing production, it will be ready for this summer. So the first camera is due to ship this summer. We already shipped the development kits. And you should really see this camera more like it's a sample execution of the technology. Of course, this camera won't replace professional applications right now, and that's not the point. It's made to open the eyes of the general public about you don't have to frame anymore, do all in 360, and you should be able to capture it all. But we really truly believe that the technology behind it, the 360 virtual sensor, will tomorrow make a dramatic step into a 360 video production. So that's all for today, and I'm happy to take any questions if you have some. Thank you. Sorry. This so we don't give any specific dates. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's I know. So to be perfectly clear about it, we are not tweaking up the production lines, so it's pretty close. So I won't give any specific dates, but be sure they are quite close now, right now.
Okay,
You're welcome.
thank you, Mr. What would be the price point for that?
$499.
The sale price?
$499.
Did you happen to bring one in today?
Yes, there is one right here.
Perfect.
That's the one I've been shooting, the footage I've been showing you to.
Okay, awesome. Do you have the light bulb adapter with you? Or are you still planning on adding that to your
I
manufacturing?
do have one, but it's actually not the right one. This one is a 3D printed one, and we have the real one back at the office. But I can show you how it works, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.